I'm Eric.
And I'm Kristy.
And this is Conversations with Erick and Kristy. And you're lucky. Today, guess what we're going to talk about?
What?
Cheesecake.
Yes.
Icelandic dating apps.
What?
I know. Baking fails.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Christina Nolan, this one's for you.
And sequels.
TV show sequels.
Yes,
okay.
One in particular, How I Met Your Father.
Okay, so we're going to start out with trying the cheesecake.
Yes.
Here's your fork, Eric.
Thank you.
So we're trying two different cheesecakes today. They are both just plain cheesecake. One is from our friend Bob Boro, his famous recipe, his mother's recipe. And the other one is the Cheesecake Factory.
No one knows about them.
So, right, nobody knows the Cheesecake Factory. Okay, so I'll let you have the first bite.
Oh.
I'm going to hold it, and then I'm going to take the second bite.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Thank you. We figured it out.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that cheesecake.
No, it's good.
There's nothing.
But I typically, when I go to Cheesecake Factory, I don't usually go for just a plain one.
I don't either.
It's a little too subtle for me.
I like vanilla bean and banana cream. What are yours?
Ooh, I mean chocolate. Anything with chocolate. Caramel salted. That works.
Peanut butter?
No.
You don't eat peanut butter ones?
Not on cheesecake, no.
Oh my god. Okay, this is Bob's. It has a sour cream top. I asked for a sour cream top at Cheesecake Factory, but apparently they couldn't hear me over the mask. So go ahead, try this one. Oh my gosh, we've eaten this one many times. Spoiler. Boo, can you eat?
No. Can you? Mm. And this one has a lighter taste.
But it's a stronger flavor.
Yes.
A stronger flavor.
The texture is light, kind of fluffy. But then it definitely has a more distinct, like the flavor hits you and it's like, yes, I am a cheesecake. I'm here.
I would say that Cheesecake Factory is a plainer tasting. It's just a general run-of-the-mill. It's not their best one.
No.
This is a winner.
Yes, as a general flavor, yes. Winner. I'm gonna finish it.
All right, great. So we got that. Okay. Bob, you're a winner. Your recipe's a winner. Your mom's recipe's a winner. We all know that about you anyway.
You can make me cheesecake any day, sir. My birthday's in November.
Okay, he already did that.
My half birthday's in March.
Okay, so
I take gifts during the summer.
We're going to talk about a baking fail. Christina Nolan, one of our fans, has asked me if I ever did baking fails, and by God, I sure do. In fact, this week I was asked to bake a gluten-free cake, which is not difficult. It's not even difficult to bake a delicious gluten-free cake.
Gluten-free. What does that even mean?
But what I did was I didn't follow the rules. I used an old flour that I don't know how old it was. Yeah, I know. That was like the first rule. Make sure your ingredients are fresh. I didn't. So what happened was, instead of it being like dome top, it's like overbaked to the point where it's pulling away from the edges, and then it's still fudgy in the center. This is a trash heap. This is a trash heap of a cake. It's a trash heap. It's not
your best, Kristy.
It's a trash heap. It's a baking fail. So then you know what I did? I went and bought fresh flour, gluten-free flour. So gluten-free means no wheat. There's no wheat. Okay, so I used a gluten-free flour mix.
How does it affect the flavor?
Hardly at all. You've eaten many gluten-free things. Don't act like you haven't.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Like you haven't. You love my gluten-free cookies.
I don't know what she's talking about. I've never been gluten-free.
You've never been gluten-free, but you've tried my gluten-free
No, I don't know what you know.
All right, so I listen to the Conan O'Brien podcast. And by the way, I love Conan O'Brien. I love Conan O'Brien.
He's a funny ginger man.
Oh my God, he's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So on his podcast, they have a thing where they talk one time of the week. On Mondays, they talk with this movie star, TV star or something. And then on Thursdays, they talk with a fan who's written in to talk.
Yeah.
And so they found one in Iceland. And so they talked to the guy. And he was a really funny guy, too, in Iceland. So here's the thing. In Iceland, there's only about 330,000 people. And there hasn't been very much immigration. So it's a fairly stagnant population pool.
Whole bunch of white folk.
Right. So they have a app, and it's called Bump. And all you have to do is take your phone.
And you bump them together.
And then you can tell if you both have the app, if you're related.
That was going to be my question.
And their slogan is...
Thank goodness.
Incest spoiler. Bump the app before you bump into bed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They don't want any surprises down the road.
I feel like, are there other ways they can avoid not being incestuous? Like,
Actually,
I don't
I
know.
was thinking-
Can they get people in or maybe move away?
I was thinking
don't
that
know.
in smaller knit communities, I mean, Algoma, there's other places, shout out to my Wisconsin peeps, there's other places, West Virginia, I don't know, there's
That they might
inbreeding
need
in
this
other
app?
places. I'm just saying.
Is this anywhere else or just in Iceland?
I did not do the research. I only checked
I need to
for
know
Iceland.
all this information.
I'm sorry. We'll do some research
My
for the next one.
goodness. Do we
I
need
mean,
one
you
here
can
in
get on that.
Fresno?
No, this is too large of a population pool. I'm sorry.
goodness.
I'm sorry. It's a million people here. There's a million people here.
You never know.
You're right. You're right. There could be inbreeding here too.
No.
Okay, so.
Can I talk about one other thing that I like about Conan O'Brien?
Oh my God, what?
I like how how uncomfortable he gets when there was an episode where Nicole Byer, are you familiar with Nicole Byer?
Yes, I love Nicole Byer.
Where she went onto his show and she's just explicit. I love her. Comedian. You can see her on Nailed It on Netflix. She has a comedy special on Netflix, which is ridiculous. And
she also has a podcast.
Oh, of course she does. And I mean, I don't know why. And another show on NBC actually happening too.
So what do you like about Conan?
Oh, just how ridiculously uncomfortable he is with, I guess, her, or maybe it's women in general, I don't know, but at least with her and how upfront she is about her sexuality, and just can see the awkwardness of how he doesn't know how to direct his way through it. And it's just, I love it.
Okay,
I
so
love making people uncomfortable.
Show. That's the show. The podcast, what I love most about his podcast is his producer and his assistant, Sona Mastessian.
Yes.
rip
She's hilarious.
him. They rip him the whole time.
Yes.
It's like part of the shtick,
Yes.
which is fantastic. I love it.
Yes.
But I do like the interview. And they're in the interview too. Like Sona's in the interviews with whoever they talk to too. They're
all
really
involved.
Good. Yeah, it's good. So we were going to talk about...
I forgot. Oh yeah, How I Met Your Father. Father, huh?
So there was this show called How I Met Your Mother. And it went on like 9 seasons or something.
Early 2000s, really. Who remembers that far back?
It was a pretty big hit. It was a pretty big
Yes.
hit, yeah. And now they have a sequel called How I Met Your Mother. And Eric and I are... Oh, How I Met Your Father. And Eric and I are at odds.
Oh, yes. I enjoy it. She doesn't. I have taste. She doesn't. Simple.
No, I think it's the same. I don't think it's... I think it's too much of the same. I think if you're going to do the father, that you need to do some different bent. They're in the same apartment. They're
Exactly.
doing the same things.
Well, they want to make that connection. They even have some of the same writers.
I feel like they could have the connection, maybe bring in a character from the old show, something, but it's...
Who says they're not?
Oh.
They're probably going to have them. I hope so.
It's the same. It's too much of the same.
Have Barney on there.
Barney.
Come back as an old man.
Barney. Yeah,
trying to still hit on people.
Barney is my favorite.
I mean, I love him.
Neil Patrick Harris is amazing.
I mean, how did he not get an Oscar? Do you get Oscars for comedies?
No, you do not. You get, and also you don't get Oscars for TV. I'm sorry, boo.
Emmy? Tony?
I mean, Emmy, sure. I don't know. Have you checked to see what he won?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Neil
Patrick Harris is amazing.
He is a wonderful man.
Well, anyway, I think that's about it for me. How about you?
Yeah, that's all. That's all I have.
Guys, we'll see you next week. Thanks so much.
Bye.